Hello, good morning. It's good to see you. Although you can't see me, but I can't really see you. There's a whole lot of not seeing going on. But I just wanted to say good morning before you start your rat race. If that's not already too late, you're probably at ball practice and ball games and work and all kinds of things like that already. So I hope I haven't missed you. I'm going to start coming on at 9:30 every day. That's my goal. I almost forgot if Siri hadn't, not Siri. What is her name? I forget her name half the time. Not Siri, but Alexa. See, remind me to do a live show every morning at 9 a.m.
Okay, I'll remind you every day at 9 a.m.
See, that way I'm like, oops, 9:30, here it is. Because that happens to me, even though I've been waking up and all that since, well, which was late for me, 6 o'clock this morning. I normally get up about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm putting some lip gloss on, y'all. Not because it looks any particular way, because you can't see me. It's because it feels good on my lips. But this is where we are. I need y'all to send me some stars, please. I need some equipment, at least a phone, not a phone, a camera that I can vlog on, one that I can go live on. And I'm supposed to be able to do it with my phone with this computer and all that, but I'm still trying. I'm still trying, and I'm trying to do it the least expensive way until I know that I want to get it where I can edit, but I've got a long way to grow, but I'm not quitting. I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep trying. There's some days that I think, really, do I, should I, could I, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Am I doing the right thing? And I know I'm doing the right thing, but am I doing it the right way? And no, I'm not doing it the right way because it needs to be so much better quality. So I've got a lot of things that I want to improve, and I get frustrated. I get so frustrated that I can't make things happen fast enough. Is anyone else out there like that? Do you get frustrated when you have goals and they're not coming together and they don't seem like they've come to fruition or you're ever gonna see the positive from what you do? I'm sure everyone has at some point, and that's not where I'm at. It's just that's kind of the, I don't really, I don't know. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like if I had $500, I'd be in a whole different boat with my life because I would just really kick butt on this live stuff. I'd take y'all everywhere with me. We'd be going, shoot, let's start making some money from advertisers on here, and we'll be going all around the world together. Well, as much as my health will allow. I have to use a cane to walk. And, that reminds me of in the Bible when Jacob wrestled the Lord, or the Lord's angel, right? God was trying to get him to do a particular thing, and Jacob just would not do it. He just kept not doing it. And he was struggling with the Lord about, what he wanted him to do. And he actually wrestled an angel, and the angel, I think, broke his leg, and he had a broke his thigh bone. Now, y'all, that's a break when you break your thigh bone. And he limped for the rest of his life. And that, I guess that's where I'm at. I didn't know I was wrestling with the Lord, but I was. I didn't mean to, but I was. I wasn't being a very good child. And he has wrestled me down. So I walk with a cane, but I am totally submissive to him now. Um, Not that I didn't think that I was before. I just kind of was like, oh, come on, God, you can do this. Oh, come on, God, you can forgive me of this. And you can, well, it's not my fault. And, it's their fault, and so on. And all the excuses that we make. And they make me mad for calling me out. How loved ones or friends will do. If they're really a good loved one or a good one to have around, they're going to call you out when you're doing something wrong, or they think it's wrong. Now, I think that's a good friend, but I also think that you should not just badger somebody either. But I don't think you abandon them when you got a friend that's making choices that aren't the best for themselves, you just keep letting them know that you're there and that you want the right things for them. Don't abandon them. But that's not what I got on here for this morning. I got on here this morning to tell you good morning and just do a little whistle as you walk today, knowing that you're just plugging right along, doing the hard stuff and the fun stuff. But even the fun stuff can be hard to do when you're wore out and wore down. So you just give yourself a pat on the back and be proud of yourself for what it is you're doing today. Even if it's resting, if today is your day of rest, that's fine too. Um, just whatever the good Lord's putting in your path today, just do it with a joyful heart and be proud of yourself that you are listening and following the direction of the Lord. Y'all, my cane handle and the cord on here, they go like this and form a heart. The cane handle's over here and the wire is over here. And if I look at them together, when I'm looking at you guys, it forms a heart shape. That's so cool. That's my little symbol that I say that my angels are sending me messages or saying, "Hey, everything's okay. We're here with you. The good Lord's hearing you, and we're giving you a message from heaven that just keep on doing the right stuff." So that makes me feel good, or that they're watching out for me. My holy angels are, and I'll just leave it at that for right now. I when I said holy angels, I'm wanting is in my spirit, is it okay to seek direction from things that are not necessarily of God? They're not necessarily wrong or evil, but they're not of God. So is that wrong? How do you feel about that? Is it wrong to partake in something for your own self? I'm answering my question all the way around, but for your own self serving, because it causes you to be able to do what you want to do, even though you know that you're not supposed to use that particular avenue to get there. Uh, I guess I'm being the it's just obvious to me. No, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. If you have a small little tickle like that when you start to do something and you keep getting that little tickle, you can be pretty sure you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you need to get out of there and quit doing whatever it is you're doing. Okay? That little urging is either your holy angels or the Holy Spirit or somebody saying, "No, Alicia, this is not good for you. Stop it." And remember, we talked about how the power of the tongue. Of course, we know about that. The Bible tells us that it has the power to kill and destroy with our tongue. But the power of the tongue, something that I learned in the last few months, actually, if you say something out loud to yourself like, "Now, Alicia, is that what you would tell Alicia to do? Is that what you would say? This is what you should do, Alicia. What you're doing right now, is that a good idea for Alicia?" What would you say to yourself? And when you say your name out loud like that and you talk to yourself out loud like that, it changes the area in which your information is processed in your brain. So, in other words, if I'm upset, let's just say I'm upset up here. I don't know where your part of your brain is that has to do with that. But when you say, "Alicia," now, is that what you would tell Alicia to do? It moves it to this frontal part of your brain, which causes you to be able to process and think about what it is you're doing. Whereas over here in this other part of your brain, you might have just been reacting and feeling and not reasoning. So it changes the part of your brain that processes that. Is that not incredible? That is the science of the power of the tongue. That's incredible to me, that God actually caused and created us in a way that when we stop and say, "Hey, wait, Alicia, is that what you should be doing?" It changes to a more logical part, processing part of your brain. Is that not incredible? That is a science thing now. That is something that I read in some information that I was given. And it wasn't called the power of the tongue. It was, what was it about? It was about just making good decision and processing and making your. I don't remember what the article was, or why I ended up in that area of study. One thing is I have a doctor that I see once a month, and he always hooks me up. Well, about once, yeah, he hooks me up with some good information when I go. He helps me with my YouTube researches and stuff, and he does it for his own business, but he knows that I'm using his information on my page, and his name is Dr. Reeves. He's a really cool guy, and he's in Florida. But um, I said I was just going to be on here real quick, and here I am still talking to you. So you just speak out loud to yourself and say, "Now, Alicia, if you've got something really heavy and you need quickly to be able to process what you're thinking about and to get right on the right page and settle yourself into the right direction, just say it out loud to yourself, okay? So talk out loud to yourself. Then everybody else won't think I'm crazy if you're doing it too." That's terrible. Let me get my pencil. I'm going to write that down. Y'all write that down. Talk out loud to yourself. That's when have you ever been told to act crazy before, huh? Okay, so we're going to talk out loud to ourselves. Talk out loud so that the power of the tongue, changes the science. It becomes science then. It's logical. How about that? Who knew that? I'm so excited to know that. It just, it just makes me know that God's all over the place. I mean, we know well, I believe He created us, and I don't care if we evolved or not. That's His business, however He wants to do it. But I do know that He is my creator. See, God is my creator. So He knew that I was going to need to do that way before I ever did it, before I realized it and all that. He told me that way back in the Bible, back in His time, before Christ. He told us the science of the tongue. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so, and we talked about Jacob, walking with a limp after he wrestled with the Lord's angel. And I had to wrestle. No, I didn't have to. I could have done the right things before I did them without it being so devastating. I just imagine I was given that opportunity several times. I even know when they were, a few of them, and I just ignored my gut. I just ignored my gut for my own self satisfaction. So, how many of you have ignored your gut instinct? Do not ignore your gut instinct. You just wait. That's going to be one of those science things they prove one time, like, the power of the tongue thing. One of these days, your gut instinct is going to be something that it's going to show there's a science to that. You just wait. Yeah, there'll be a science to it. One day they'll say, "Oh yeah, if you speak out loud to yourself, it changes where your activities processed in your brain." Huh? What did I do? I wrote that down, didn't I? Okay, changes for the processing of activity. See, I try to keep up with what we talk about as we go, except for now I've got it out of order, so that if I ever get good enough at editing, I can put those little, how they'll put a little bar, and you can go to that point and watch, Stephanie do whatever, Alicia do, talk about the power of the tongue. On over here, I can mark it and put Jacob wrestled the Lord's angel, and I can mark increments like that, but I'm not that good yet. Shoot, I'm not even that good at all. I don't even see yet in the horizon. I think, I know eventually that I want to hire somebody to edit for me, but that's something I need to check into and see what that would cost me. See if I can't squeeze it out of my little $600, $700 a month, whatever it is. Now I got a raise, so it's probably seven something now. I'm not real sure, but that's because it goes into a direct deposit, and my daughter uh, s- pays my bills if I let her. I mean, not that I don't want her to. It's just that I'm not real good at having a little bitty amount of money, y'all. I just don't do that real good. I've always worked however hard I needed to work to make the amount of money that I wanted to make. You know, if I knew I wanted a new bed for my daughter, I just worked that many more hours or that much harder to make that money to buy that bed. You know, I just, God always gave me that ability, and I worked two, three, four jobs at a time. If that's always, always since I was 19, I know, because I moved away from home, and I started selling Avon. I started taking care of the grounds on the apartments where we lived. I started babysitting. So that's three jobs I had right there um, since I was 19. And I was working for pay way before that. I remember getting paid for babysitting when I was in fifth grade or sixth, going to that person's house and watching their little girl, Katie. Katie, and I won't say her last name, but I do remember it. And her, I remember her dad's name, but I don't remember her mom's name. I can picture her just as good as anything. But that was my first paying gig, I think. But by my eighth grade summer, I was waiting tables at the local cafe, and I'd go in at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd ride to work with my dad, which they owned the grocery store directly across the street from the restaurant, and I would ride in with him. And I think I had to be there at 6, but I had to ride in at 5 with him, so I had to get dressed before that. And then at 6 or just before, I'd walk over to the restaurant and I would wash dishes, wait tables, made salads, everything. I made 50 cents an hour. 50 cents an hour, y'all, plus tips. And I bought my cheerleading uniforms and all for the next year, is what I did. That's what I used my money. Uh, I don't know if that's all it did. It might have helped pay for some school clothes too. I don't know. My mom always gave us school clothes money, but you know, if you wanted something nicer, like say if you wanted a pair of Levi's, it was $13, and or a pair of Kmart breeches for 7, you had to make up the difference with your money. I did. I don't know that my brother did. Or he just would use his money in a smaller increment. For example, if he got $100, he spent his $100 on whatever it was he wanted. Whereas I would kind of try to plan and make mine go further and get cute outfits, but I would try to get more outfits, not necessarily just Levi's, because Levi's were really big back in the day when I was a young girl. Um, but so I've always been one of those persons that couldn't, even as disabled as I am, I can't, my brain needs to be busy. My hands need to be busy, even if it's sitting and painting a terrible picture. Oh, so I have to be busy to be happy. I don't know. How are y'all? Do you need to be busy to be happy? I mean, I don't like to just be around a lot of people all the time. I'm trying to find my cow. Let me get my. Well, you won't be able to see it anyways with this camera. Um, I worked on my cow yesterday. I got him a hat on, but he looks like he's wearing a beanie. No, he looks more like he's wearing a helmet. And then, so I've got two friends that are really artistic. They're artists as well, and I'm gonna get them to help me make the bill part of his hat. It's all cattywampus. It's not proportionate, and I erased it. And when I say erase it, I've already sealed my cow. So then now when I do my hat, if I mess it up, I can wipe it off. So there's your little tidbit if you're just learning to paint and messing up, don't worry about it. You got the best eraser in your hand, that paintbrush and white paint, or if it's acrylic, you can actually wash it off. Just be careful not to make your canvas too soft. It will make it tight too, if you don't do too much. But so y'all go out there, y'all kick butt, do the best you can do, pat yourself on the back, and find your joy. Make your next best move to find your joy. You got to change the way you're doing things to find your joy. I did. I do. I have to make myself, which is not as hard anymore. Gosh, y'all, it was so hard to drag myself out of bed, knowing that my back's broke and knowing that the rods and the screws are coming loose, and I've got all the reason in the world. I'm actually supposed to be still, but I cannot do that, y'all. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about not wrestling with the Lord, but moving forward, talking to yourself, planning, thinking, doing. And that's the only way we're going to get out of this churn of milk, this butter churn of milk. We're going to keep kicking like a little frog. That's what we are, little frogs. And, I was talking about with someone yesterday or day before, each animal was, no, that's not true. Well, let's say it this way. Each animal was created for a purpose. Some provide food, like a chicken, and some clean up roadkill, like a buzzard. But some animals were created specifically for the end of time, and that would be buzzards and roaches and varmint type animals that eat dead things, because in the end times, when the Battle of Armageddon takes place, there's going to be so much death and so much blood and so many dead bodies just heaped mountains high on top of each other, that God created those things to clean up the earth, which says to me, He's not done with the earth. And this is a little tidbit. Let me write that down so I don't forget what we talked about. Uh, so He created certain animals for certain particular reasons. Just like He did us. I forgot what I was going to tell you after that. I was so busy trying to remember that. Um, well, I lost it. But each animal was created for a purpose, such as cleaning up the earth, and God's not through with the earth. That's what that says to me. That's just shows you His intentions, shows you God's intentions. God's intentions. See, I have to write these notes. When I told you it was for editing, it gives me an idea of little notes I can put all through the film once I ever learn how to do that. And it always helps keep me oriented also. It's kind of like taking notes after the fact. So these are, what is today? Alexa, what is today?
Today is Saturday, February 4th.
Okay, Saturday morning. Y'all go enjoy watching those babies practice or play ball or birthday parties or activities, whatever all you got going on, or just enjoy being at home and being lazy. But I'm sure I'll talk to you again later. But right now I got to go over and get on Facebook and keep my word, like I told everybody I would be on there this morning. So y'all join me. It's at Alicia Davidson Brown on Facebook. Come on over there and see me. But I don't have room for any more friends or members or anything like that. And I think you can join me or something, but I can't accept any more friendships. But so it's better to subscribe over here, and then you'll get my notifications that I'm coming on, and then you can listen to me or not, whatever your heart's desire is that day. But I love you guys. You're my addiction. I need you. I love you. I love being on here with you. I love the comments, and I love the knowledge that people share with me. That is just tremendous. What was it? It was gray walking that we learned about, and different things like that. Oh, the Archangel Michael. You can pray that He intervene and go to battle for you. You can ask Him to get rid of negative energies that have attacked you. In Jesus' name, we rebuke those. In Jesus' name, don't give them any authority. In Jesus' name, like that. And so y'all just get out there and kick butt. You can do this thing. It's going to get better. It's going to get easier. Think about since we started talking in the last few months, how much better it is for you. You might not be throwing up. You might not be sitting on the potty. You might not be hiding behind a tree. You might be actually going to Walmart. So y'all get up and go to Walmart. Love you. See you after a while.